Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Talabidi Tarot back at you again with another video. I would like to thank each and every one of you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating to my channel. I really do appreciate all the love and all the support. And thank you for those of you who've been booking readings with me. It is truly appreciated, okay? So guys, your girl's Patreon channel is up and running. So if you would like to support your girl, you'll be able to find a link in the description box below. I do post 2 exclusive videos per week, so go check it out if you feel called to. So guys, before we dive in, if you've been loving the energy here, I have created a collection of spiritual ebooks and printable workbooks to help you along your journey. From manifestation rituals to love journal prompts, these tools are designed to help you align, heal, and rise. You'll be able to find a link in the description box below or on my Patreon channel under the shop tab. So guys, this is going to be a collective reading and we're going to touch base on how does your community view you. Okay? So how does the community view you? Okay, so you're definitely an enigma. People in your community don't understand you. They see you as like very different. Okay, hard to read, hard to pin down. Like you don't fit in a mold. Like let's say if you're a woman, okay, and you're from the islands or something, or you're from South America, and there is a specific standard that you have to abide by because of your culture, you don't fit that standard, okay? You don't fit that mold. Some of you, like maybe, I'm using island culture because that's where I'm from. I'm from the island. So let's say, for instance, like you don't have any kids or you're not married and you're like financially stable, you don't really want to be in a relationship, you don't want to, maybe you don't want to get married, maybe you don't want to have children, and that's okay. But like maybe your culture is like looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Like why you don't want to be with a man? Like why you don't want to get married? Why you don't want to have children? When are you gonna have children? Oh, you're gonna, like, you're going to be alone for the rest of you. Like, they put fear into you because they want you to abide by a specific rule, okay, a specific way of living life, okay. And even if you have children, some of them, they could be pressuring you to have more. Maybe you only have one child and that's all you could afford. You're like, yo, I'm not gonna have a bunch of kids I can't take care of. Like, I'm not gonna be irresponsible like that. I'm not gonna have 5 kids and I can't take care of them. So, and maybe like people in your family, they have big families but they're struggling financially, they're living below poverty, like in poverty, and you're like, I don't want that for myself, and maybe they're like judging you because you don't want to go down that path. It's something of that sort, okay. I'm just giving that as an example, and it doesn't mean that's what you're going through, but it's like something to do with your culture, okay, and you're not living by that example. So how does your community view you? Yeah, 6 of Swords. Like, you're different with the 6 of Swords. Like, you do things your own way. You're moving, like, you're basically moving away from the cultural norm. That's what I'm getting here. You're moving away from the cultural norm, and they don't really like that. Some of you, maybe you cut off your parents, maybe you cut off your family, and they feel like you are betraying them by doing that. Because obviously, like, especially in the Caribbean, like, you, like, cutting off your parents is like, oh my gosh, it's like the biggest sin. Even if your parents are toxic, even if your parents were abusive, it's like, oh, it's still your parents, it's still your mother. It's like, they're trying to guilt trip you into staying in a toxic situation, especially if, like, Caribbeans, there's a lot of narcissistic parents. This is something that, they don't like to talk about, but it's the truth, okay. So I feel like this could be like a situation like that for you. Maybe you have narcissistic parents and you're like, I'm not dealing with you. And maybe like some of you, maybe your parents are falling ill and they expect you to come and take care of them. And you're like, I'm not doing that. And people could be like saying that you're selfish for wanting to move away from that. Yeah, death card, transformation. You could be a Scorpio here. And if you are a Scorpio and it's your birthday, happy birthday, okay? Yeah, you're transformed, you're different. And this is something that, they don't really like to talk about. They don't want to talk about these things because it's like shedding light on toxic side of like the culture. Because like people from I'm not gonna say like specific cultures because every culture has their bad side, like their toxic side. But I could only speak on the Caribbean because, like I said, that's where I'm from. So that's the only place I could speak on from experience. There's a lot of toxicity in the culture, and that's something that they don't want to address. They want it to be hush hush or taboo. And then you're left as like the new generation to hold on to the trauma, hold on to the pain, hold on to the toxicity, hold on to the shame that it's not even yours. So it's like you don't want to do that. And your community view you as somebody who is breaking the norm. Yeah, we have the sun card. They definitely view you as confident for doing so. Some of them, they're quietly applauding you for moving away from the toxicity because they couldn't do that when they were your age, when they were in your position to do so. They were too afraid of being chastised or called out or, like, rejected by the community. And you decided to move away with the Six of Swords. Okay, you were confident enough to stand on your own 2 feet. Seven of Swords, yeah, you're very strategic. Some of them, they view you as being deceptive or dishonest, like they don't understand your choice for walking away with the Six of Swords. They don't understand why you're doing that. Like, it's family. How can you turn your back on family? Okay, well, first of all, if we go back, like, because they like, how Caribbean people, they like to use the Bible. The first unalivement that happened in the Bible was from a brother to another brother. So, no, we're not going to go there. Okay. So that's exactly why you're like, no, it doesn't matter if it's family. Because, like, they like to use they like to use religion to control you, right? They like to do that to say, oh, well, like they like to use it to their advantage. But it's like, okay, well, we also see stories where there's betrayal among family in the Bible. So we're not gonna act like it's not there. So that's exactly what it is with the Seven of Swords. Like, they're trying to act like you're wrong for not wanting to participate in their shenanigans. So how does your community view you? Ooh, they're pissed. Five of Swords. Oh my God. There's a lot of talk, a lot of chatter around you with the Five of Swords. Yeah, somebody is pissed. Somebody who made like a matriarch or a patriarch in your family. Like, it could be grandparents, it could be your parents, but it's all definitely somebody, an elder in your family that is like really pissed off because you're not following the pattern. Like, you're not following the norm. You're not doing the same thing that they're doing. Like, I feel like you cut off your family, you cut off certain people. Some of you doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be your family. It could also be friends, okay? It could also be like your religion. Because you see, I was talking about like the Bible. It could also be like maybe you left the church because you're like, not like a religion per se. You did not leave like your belief in God, but I think that you left like your belief in that specific church. Maybe you're like, you saw something that the pastor was doing and you were like, I'm not down with that. And maybe you saw the pastor using the religion to control people and you're like, I'm not doing that. And maybe like you may have called them out or you decided to remove yourself from that environment and now they're mad at you. Yeah, Eight of Swords. Maybe there's some of them that could be scared of what you're going to say. There could be a lot of talk and like I feel like you've seen something or you know something that is ammunition. I'm like, ammunition for you to call them out on their BS. Yeah, Temperance. Yeah, but one thing about you, what they cannot say is that they can't say that you're fake, okay? That's one thing that they cannot say because you're well balanced here with the Temperance card. How does your community view you? We have the Two of Wands. Yeah, they definitely view you as somebody who's a visionary, somebody who's going places, somebody who's paving the way for new generation. And I feel like also the fact that you moved away with the Six of Swords, you're showing the new generation, like people that are younger than you or people that are in the same age group as you, they're seeing you living your life on your own terms and they're seeing you thriving. They're seeing you being successful with the Sun card. And some of them, they're starting to contemplate like doing what you're doing because they're seeing that your results are yielding better, like your path is yielding better results than what they're currently doing right now. And it's like I'm not saying that, I'm not talking about like saying religion is bad. It's not even about that. It's about the knowledge itself, how people use it to hurt other people. That's what's bad. Okay, so if it's like you're going to use your religion to coerce somebody, the religion is not bad itself. It's you using it to coerce. You're the one who's bad. So this is how, like, I'm getting like, you're the one who's like seeing things for what it is. It's like you're not saying your culture is bad. You're seeing that the way that people behave in your culture is bad. There's a difference here. So I feel like this is how you're able to differentiate, because I feel like you love your culture, you love like your background, but you don't like the way certain people behave, and you're like, I'm not going to tolerate that narcissistic behavior. I'm not going to do that in the name of culture or in the name of family. I'm not going to do that. And that's how your community view you, but they feel like you're betraying them by doing so, because they feel like it's normal, and it's like, no, this behavior is not normal. How does your community view you? Yeah, we have the Knight of Swords. Like, I feel like with the Knight of Swords, they definitely view you as somebody who is very sharp-minded, like you're very quick-witted, and they may not really like that because they want you to conform. I keep getting like they want you to conform. How does your community view you? We have the Seven of Cups. Some of them, they're idolizing you with the Seven of Cups. They're not really put, like, they can't really put you in a specific box, like I said, because you don't fit in a specific mold, and a lot of them, they feel some type of way about that. How does your community view you? We have the Page of Wands. Yeah, you're definitely inspiring for the younger generation, like, because like I said, like how I was giving the example, like maybe you have one child and you don't want to have any other kids because you cannot afford more, and that is a responsible decision, because it's like, okay, your culture, they may have multiple kids, but a lot of them live in poverty. Why would you want to repeat that cycle? That's not fair to the children. Why would you want to do that? That's irresponsible. If you know you cannot have, like, you cannot take care of a child, why have the child? That's like, that's pure irresponsibility. It's like you're hurting the child for no reason. The child did not ask to be there, but you could have, like, do your due diligence to make sure that you don't get pregnant or that you don't get someone else pregnant. That's your responsibility, and that's exactly what you did. And some people, they may be mad at you for that. Okay, so how does your community view? We have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, they definitely view you as somebody who is different, somebody who's practical, somebody who thinks. Okay, with the Page of Pentacles, you're not going to just do something without having like proper knowledge of how to do it. And it's like, some of you, I feel like you could have been married to somebody and you decided not to marry this person because you saw that this person was irresponsible, or this person did not have like what you desired in a partner. So you, maybe you called out the wedding or something like that, and maybe people in your family were like, why are you doing this? He has money, or she has money, or they have this, they have that, but their character is rotten. And you're like, no, I'm not gonna marry this person just because they have money. I'm not gonna be miserable just for money. And they're looking at you like you're crazy or something. Okay, so how does your community view you? How does your community view you? Yeah, we have the Hermit card. Yeah, somebody who is a very prudent, guarded, but you're wise beyond your years. That's something that they cannot take away from you. They admire your wisdom, but they're also envious, because some of them deep down inside, they know that your path that you're taking is the wisest one. The path that is less traveled. It's harder because you have no one to show you the way, but you trust your inner guidance. They know that you're wise beyond your years with the Hermit card. Okay, yeah, they know that you walk to the beat of your own drums. That's how they view you. Somebody who's bold, somebody who's daring, somebody who's paving the way for the next generation. So how does your community view you? Yeah, original, authentic, like the Star. You could be an Aquarius here. You're definitely somebody who is shaking things up with the Star. You're doing things differently. You're doing things boldly. Okay? You have this authenticity about you. Like, you're just like different, that they can't pin you down with the Star. And that's one thing that they don't really like. We have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, emotionally intelligent. You're wiser, emotionally more sound, emotionally more grounded than they they want to believe. Yeah, you see, we have the Emperor. Bouse. They know that you're a bouse. They're putting some respect on your name with this energy. They know that you're a self-starter, initiator, you're bold, You walk to the beat of your own drums. We have all the fire signs here. So you could be a fire sign, have fire heavy in your chart. You're a trailblazer. That's how your community view you. A lot of them, they're envious and jealous of the fact that they didn't have the guts to live life on their own terms. The same way that you're living your life on your own terms, they wish they could do that. They wish they had the balls to go out there and do something with themselves instead of like following the norm, following like what society tells them or their community tells them or their family tells them. Like you're doing something totally different, and this is what unnerves them, but they're also envious and jealous of you. Wow, we have justice, Libran energy. You're fair in your dealing. You're just, okay? You have high integrity here. That's how your community views you. How does your community view you? How does your community? We have the Two of Swords. Yeah, some of them, they're unable to make a decision about you. They're like on the fence. They haven't made up their mind about you with the Two of Swords. How does your community view you? How do they view you? What do you have? Ooh, boss again. The Emperor. They definitely view you as a boss, as a leader, as a self-starter. Like you may have, like I feel like you've experienced a lot of opposition, a lot of pushback within your community, a lot of pushback from people that wanted you to conform. They didn't really like your power. They didn't really like your strength. They didn't really like your boldness. You're not somebody who could be easily swayed or manipulated with the Emperor and with the Justice card. You're well balanced, okay? And you're somebody who's original. You walk to the beat of your own drums, and you don't mind walking alone. That is one thing that maybe your community was kind of like not upset, but like envious and jealous of, is the fact that you could walk on your own. You don't really need support. You don't really need people around you to tell you what to do. And if you have to walk alone, you're okay. You're fine with walking alone. You don't really need a group of people around you. How does your community view you? Yeah, wow. King of Wands, bold, confident, assertive. That's how they view you. Yeah, like I said, some of them, like behind closed doors, they're praising you, they're applauding you. We have the Ten of Cups, emotionally fulfilled. They just don't like the fact that they can't control you. Whether it's like church, religion, family, all of that, they cannot control you with the fear. Like it's like fear based. Like they're trying to put fear into you, make you tell you that your soul's gonna burn in hell. And it's like, okay, boy, let's not even start, okay? Like, like they're trying to like really trying to scare you into submission. This is what I'm getting here, but they can't. How does your community view you? We have the Ace of Cups, emotionally stable, okay, emotionally sovereign. You know thyself. So when you know thyself, it's kind of hard for someone else to tell you who you are if you know who you are. They cannot manipulate you emotionally, mentally, physically. They can't do any of that. They know that with the Ace of Cups. How does your community view you? We have the Knight of Swords again. Yeah, mentally sharp, mentally agile, forward thinking. Like you're too sharp for them. You know your stuff. So it's like it's kind of hard for them to pull the wool over your eyes because you're just too sharp. You're like I also heard they view you as being too smart for your own good, which is another saying. Like they're only saying that because they can't manipulate you. That's why they're saying you're too smart for your own good. Usually that's what manipulators, narcissistic individuals tell you when they can't play with you. Okay? So that's all I have for the collective. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.